Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. My name is Nicole. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest on the traditional unceded territory of the Coast Salish Nations. Today is September 1st, and I'm going to be sharing with you my budget plan for September 2020. If I look kind of like I just did a bunch of work, it's because I did. It's September 1st, so my housemate, who is awesome, moved out, and I've just been rearranging things and cleaning. Weirdly, it feels like a little echoey. There is less furniture, but there actually has been more furniture in this room during quarantine, because I got a bed frame, and so like everything didn't fit in my room anymore. But I was able to move that. It was basically an extra futon that had been in the spare room. I was able to move that back into the spare room. So anyway, yeah, so we've rearranged a little. I put the couch over by the window. I'm going to do a plant tour soon, so you'll get to see the whole place if you have any interest in that at all. Okay, so if you're new here, I usually go through and share what is going on for the month ahead. I actually did something a little different. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this, but just on a sticky note on my computer, I just put some of my reminders for this month. I feel like last month I didn't plan very well. I was sort of in a quarantine kind of numbness, so I'm sure y'all have experienced that at some point or another during this whole thing, but I'm feeling a little more together this month, and so I'm looking ahead. I know I have less income to work with because I'm paying more rent, so that's on my list, higher rent. But one thing that's coming up is I am going to be getting I'm getting a half of a pig that I'm splitting with a coworker. This is for food, and it's from a local farm, so that's going to be coming in this month. So I need to have that money ready, and I definitely was not as organized as I would like to be, as I am with some things. I didn't sort of do a sinking fund for that, but I am going to be doing a sinking fund for that moving forward. So you'll see when I go through, I've created a like future food. So thinking about trying to be more sustainable, and also just thinking about the year ahead, what COVID might mean for food supplies, stuff like that. I'm not too worried, but I love that this year I was able to really get food straight from my like community. Just in that's funny, my text is going off. That doesn't usually happen. But yeah, the farm that I'm getting food from is literally 3 miles from my house, and the farm that the pork is coming from, it's a little bit further away, but it's, you know, a few minute drive. So yeah, I love that. And so I'm going to be planning for that for the future. So I know I need to allocate about $350 for the pork. Last month of CSA, so something I know is that I'm going to try this month to keep my grocery budget really low. I haven't really given myself that task, and a lot of that reason was because my mental health has not been great during all of this, during the quarantine, during the civil rights movement, and I've really just felt like there were other more important things to focus on, trying to contribute to the movement happening, and also just trying to, you know, kind of survive, and trying to do my job in this completely different way. So I do feel kind of up for the task this month though, so I'll probably be sharing that with you. I know my phone bill is going to be higher because I ran out of data while I was traveling. This often happens. It kind of was a little extreme this time, but again, I'm always in Wi-Fi, so when I pay a little extra on the random month that I travel, that I think works out good for me in terms of like being the least amount for my phone bill overall. This is the month where I need to call and negotiate my internet so that they don't raise the price. It started out being 60, it's now 80. I've managed to lower it every year or every month, but it's still crept up, if that makes sense. It's lower than they want to charge me, but more than I'd like to pay. So I need to be ready to negotiate this month. And last but not least, I need to recertify my income and my employment for public service loan forgiveness. What that means is for income, I basically just connect to IRS and send my last tax return. And for employment, I just send in a form to my HR department that they sign, and that lets them know that I have been in a qualifying employment for the last year, and then I will see that number in my public service loan forgiveness payment go up, my qualifying payment. So those two things I've actually already done. They're checked off the list, but that's just stuff I need to think about this month. So let's get into the budget. All right, so I am going to be I've sort of adjusted my money so that I'm 1 month ahead. I've got a video coming on Tuesday that will explain how I did that. And so I'm going to just be taking that $3,000 from my savings account and plunking it into my checking account, and that's my $3,000. I've already gotten my interest for the various accounts that I have, and that was $10.33. It's not a lot, but hey, I'll take free $10. That's awesome. I'm not expecting any gifts, reimbursements, or miscellaneous income. I am struggling a little this month to make everything happen. And so I'm actually bringing down my sharing to $100. So if I look over here, that means that I'm only at 3% of my income. That's just how it's going to have to be this month, but it's a little bit of a bummer for me. I'd like that to be at 5% or higher. Nothing in 2% for art. I do still have a little bit, $162 in my stimulus sharing, so I'm going to be trying to dole that out. I did hear that Congress will be voting on a stimulus package maybe next week, if I heard that correctly. So hopefully they will be doing things that make sense. Not so much for me, but for other people who may be losing their job or their housing or have lost it. Wow, what a time we're in. Okay, so my emergency fund, I'm not doing anything really in savings except this new category next month. I will be plunking my paychecks in there instead of in my income, which reminds me I should go back and change that. I'm just going to say base income. Okay, so great. That's where I'm going to be putting it. Right now I'm not making it a fund, but before the end of the month I might change it to a fund. Watch my video next Tuesday and let me know what you think. Okay, then investments. So I'm going to be going back to $500 a month. As you'll see in my video next week, basically I'm a little behind on my Roth, and I feel like I have, with the way I've adjusted things, a good enough emergency fund for now. And so I want to go back to doing $500 for the rest of the year, and then I do have a little bit I need to make up, so I'll be working towards that. Rent is higher this month. It's $1,100, the full rent. Electricity, I'm just planning on about $40. My phone, I happen to know, is $120.07. I'm just not going to remind anyone how much my bill normally is because this is pretty outrageous, but it's just for 1 month, and like I said, I have given this some thought. This month was a little bit weird. Basically, I just used my phone in my house, but not connected to the internet, and so I messed up my data, and then I traveled. So, you know, it happens. Internet is $84, so it's already gone up. It's normally $79.95, so that's something I'm going to need to be calling about. Groceries, I'm giving myself $150. I'm shooting for $25 a week for sort of essentials, and I'm giving myself $50 extra for anything that I need to like stock up on. I can't really think of what something like that would be, but just that's my buffer. $150 is very low for me to paying groceries, but keep in mind that I do get a box of vegetables every week, and then I will at some point, I think in the next week or two, be getting a quarter of a pig. So I will have protein, and I do have lots of dry beans and grains and that kind of thing. I guess that's what that extra money is for. If I need to stock up on something I run out of, like black beans or something, that's something I keep in the pantry. I'm not allocating anything. Oh, restaurants, $50. I do think that taking a walk to get a piece of pizza or a coffee, which are both things that are near my house, with a friend during this time are important things. Obviously, I'm not going to bars or going into restaurants. That's just not something I'm comfortable with at this time, but I do think connection is important, so I am allocating $50 for that type of thing. $2.50 for, I'm skipping down to cats, kittles, which is what I call my cats. $2.50 is how much I think I need to, and I've created this as a fund now. I think $2.50 should let me get their food, litter, and their Violet's monthly medicine, and then the rest will roll over until I need to re-up on Junior's medicine for 3 months. I don't have it all exactly. He's on like 10 different medicines. But let me know if you want to know more about that down below. I'm sure no one does. But I haven't completely calibrated it perfectly. I know I'm going to have to re-up on at least one before I re-up on all of them for 3 months, but I'm getting it a little more tightened. Wow, another message. I feel very popular. I was waiting for actually a call from the doctor's office. So I turned my notifications on. Normally they're off. All right, scrolling on down, I'm going to keep gas at 60, car registration $10 as usual, entertainment $6.55 for Hulu, and then $50 for fun. I don't want to go insane, and I also might need to do some gardening. Auto insurance is $86.60 as usual. Renters, that $10 will go away for the next year. I've just paid it for the year. And then I could actually probably lower that because I had overestimated, so I have kind of a little bit of an excess in there. I'm going to double check this with my actual bank account, and then I may change this amount so that I end up around 100 and, it was 104, but I usually plan for 120, if that makes sense, just in case it goes up a little. And then that's really, oh no, that's not it. So if we go down to sinking funds, the things that I'm putting money into is winter coats. That's something I've really been planning for. Mine is in terrible condition, and I really do need to re-up on that. And I would love to have bought it after, but it's just not the way it worked out, like after the season last year, but then there was this COVID thing. So anyway, definitely need a new winter coat, so I'm saving up for it. Gifts, a dear friend of mine just had a baby, and they are, her and her family are far away, but I am allocating $50 to be able to just do a meal train, just to be able to send them like a gift certificate for food for their new parent time. So that is just a sort of important thing today, which wasn't on my list, but I had already thought of it when it first happened earlier in August. And then this is a new thing, future food, CSA, comma, meat, comma, etc. And I'm putting $300 in that. I think I might need more like $350, but I couldn't eke that out. So I'm hoping I'll figure it out by then. So I'm setting $300 aside in there, and I may try to just tinker with things a little more, but I wanted to get this video out. I don't know what's going on here. This is extra. Yes, delete. Okay, but it's an every dollar budget. That's what's up this month. Let me know what you're planning for September, and I will see you. Oh, and down below, if you've gotten bulk meat before like this, either a pig or a cow or a lamb, let me know down below. I'd love to know how it went, and if you were able to use all the different cuts you got. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your week.